What's good, family? It's your boy. Y'all see where I'm at, man? In the garage. I just witnessed a terrible loss by the team tonight. And let me tell you something, man. That loss, bruh, unacceptable. Excuse me. Unacceptable. I'm in San Antonio behind the Hawks. I'm talking cash trash to the Spurs fans, man. And you know what? It was all in good fun. Shout out to the Spurs fans. I was sitting beside. Like the funny part about it is they actually the dude I was sitting directly beside, he wanted to actually lose the game. Cause he's like, hey, we trying to get Victor Wanyama. We 18-50. Why would we win this game? But you know what, man? He said, we've been blowing leads. And you know what I told him? I said, stuff like that don't happen for the Hawks, man. We'll go play the worst team on a 50-game losing streak, and they'll find a way to beat us. And guess what happened? That third quarter, like I be talking about, that third quarter, we tricked off the game. And I was telling them, I was like, hey, man, please, just get out of the third quarter. Because for some reason, the third quarter is our Achilles heel, right? It's either the first or the third quarter, man. We trick off games. So, listen, I've been trying to tell fans when they was like, Nate McMillan this, Nate McMillan that, I was like, no, dog. All this shit that this Oregon team is going through is not solely on Nate McMillan. And I don't think McMillan was ever the main issue. Sure, you had some legit complaints and concerns about Nate McMillan, but bro, he wasn't the difference between wins and losses, right? Let me tell you something. Quinn made the same mistake that Nate did, if you want to call it a mistake. He put the starters in. And I've been on this show plenty of times going back and forth with some fellow fans talking about putting the starters in. Because, coach, that's your starters. Your starters they're supposed to be able to come in and seal games. In the NBA, teams go make runs. So them cutting lead down to 10, to me, I was like, okay, I'm not concerned yet. Because they're going to make a run. But I figured we would respond, which we didn't respond, man. Trae Young didn't show up, only 9 points. Murray started off decent. Well, he actually started off pretty good. Second half, he cooled down. AJ cooking in the first half. Couldn't get no shots in the second half. But, what you will notice is, and what I noticed sitting behind the bench was, every time the Hawks go on defense, Quinn Snyder he would stand up and walk to the scores table, watch us play defense. During timeouts, he would explain to the players what he sees. And I could hear him one time when he said, we discussed this yesterday about the pin downs. So the coaches, from the little bit that I saw and heard, understand what's going on. Why the players can't execute it, I don't know. Is it other teams just execute better than we do? And if that's the case, then what do you do about that? But that goes back to my point. Not point, but it goes back to when John Collins said, they could not meet the expectations mentally and physically that Nate McMillan has set for them. And I can see why. Especially when he said the mental part. This loss was unacceptable. Unacceptable. We lost to Keldon, some dude named Wesley, another dude. Like, I don't even know these dudes. They're not household names. You got to be a real Spurs fans to know that lineup. And now I know Keldon Johnson, and they cooked us tonight. We had a 24-point lead to start the third quarter and tricked it off by the end in 12 minutes. Unacceptable. I don't know how many timeouts Quinn Snyder got to call. Because like I said, and you hear me say it time and time again, the timeouts ain't stopping that shit. The players got to want to stop that. And now you can hear, and like I could hear John Collins on the bench trying to be positive. Come on, guys. We good. Come on, we got to get some stops. But we couldn't get them. Now, I will say, some of the shots the Spurs were making, if I got to be completely honest, some of the shots was good shots. They was tough shots, contested shots. But that goes to show that, when you got a team down, you cannot let them build confidence. And we allowed them to build confidence, and they came back. And, man, let me tell you something. When they took the lead, bro, that arena was so loud. And it was a good shout-out to the Hawks fans that was in the building. It was a number of Hawks fans in the building tonight. And I was telling my son, I said, this is the problem with the Hawks. That's why you don't have a younger fan base really supporting the Hawks. We don't have that fan because, when it's time to show and prove, we go out here and we embarrass. This was embarrassing as a fan, man. Because I'm standing up. Every time we score, I'm mimicking the players. If they say layup, I'm laying it up. If they say too small, I'm doing. And the Spurs fans was like, yeah, this is a wrap. And we found a way to trick off another game. Don't forget last year, the Spurs. Don't forget last year, the same team with DeJounte Murray came and blew us out on our own home court. What you do about that? And I've been trying to tell cats the whole year, man. Y'all keep trying to blame Nate McMillan. I've been saying it's the players, dog. Something's wrong with this roster, and it's gonna need some tweaks. Veteran presence, we don't have it. I'm looking up and down the roster while I'm looking on the bench, and I promise you, John Collins is the most senior player there. Hawk-wise, let me think. Yeah, Hawk-wise, he's the most senior player there. I think he might be in it longer than Aaron Holiday. So we don't have a real vet with a winning background, with a championship pedigree, nothing like that on the roster as a player. We don't have that. So, I mean, why the front office has not addressed that issue yet? Why the fuck Solo not back on this team? I have no idea. None of the vets we had on this team, Dwayne Dedman, Carter, I mean, all the veterans we had is not there. Even when Nate took over the other year, you had Tony Snell, you had Vince Carter, you had players who've been around the league. Real vets. We don't have no vets, And then I'm sitting up behind the bench and I'm watching the game. Every time a play happens, especially on the defensive end, Quinn would come down and tell the players on the bench, like he was trying to coach the players on the bench, like, hey, guys, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But let's be honest. At the end of the day, it really come down to execution, and we could not execute. Trey couldn't get going. Offensively, he missed some easy shots. I mean, a lot of the shit was going in and out. Murray got cold in the second half. But, man, I'm just, bruh. I felt like when I left, let me tell you something. When I was sitting behind the Hawks bench, so that means I had to walk all through the Spurs fans, all through the charter area to get out. And I felt like I was taking a walk of shame, man. That's what it felt like. It felt like I took a walk of shame. Because I just could not believe we blew this game, man. It blew my mind. I just don't get it, man, how you can go and beat Golden State and then come lose to a team. You got a 24-point lead, and you trick off the game to a team with 18 wins and 50-plus losses. Like, how does that even happen? Luckily, I'm calmed down than I was when I was on the show earlier. But I mean, with this team right now, man, all we can do is just hope, man. Hope something clicks, something happen. But I'm telling you, man, when I think about it, I'm like, bro, is it really worth going into the play-in, to be honest? Like, if we're not going in there like on a 2-3 game winning streak, what's the point of going to the play-in to try to make? What's the point? To get an extra game, extra couple games, if we lucky, make it to the first round and go out in the first round like we did last year. But y'all see, these boys, they done put me back in the garage, man. So I'm gonna holler at y'all, man. Y'all stay up, Hawks up, man. Y'all know how we get down. Hopefully, we can make. I don't know, man. Right at this point, I don't know what the fuck we can do, to be honest, man. But it's your boy Demond. I'm up out. Don't forget, man. Comment, like, subscribe. Salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to everybody who on the panel for the nice post-game live. We appreciate the support, man. And hopefully we could pull this shit together, man. It's your boy Demond. I'm out.